BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether it's your first time or you've been at it for a minute, BetOnline has you covered. With a large selection of odds on everything from the NBA, college basketball, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline has you covered. BetOnline has got you on every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.
This shit feel like ain't seven. Put lines on through my action. Wake up in the morning, count my blessings. Feel like heaven. This shit feel like ain't seven.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to the Money Down, the Believe Network, presented by BetOnline.ag. Back again with another live episode. And Patriots, man, we got some good news today. We've been
some heat.
Yeah, been searching for a veteran receiver. I know Stefon Diggs had a visit the other day and must have went well. He signed him 3 years, $69 million deal. So that's my dog. We got the same agent, so that's my guy. Definitely, excited to have him, on our football team. We battled against him in Buffalo. He was a Bills Mafia with Perkins for a few years. He ended up getting hurt last year, but in Houston. But when he's back healthy, he's definitely going to be our number one receiver. I think Josh will do an excellent job of scheming things up for him. He's going to move all the way from slot, outside receiver, wherever he needs to be in the backfield to create mismatches for him. I think that receiver room needed, some more veteran players in there. I know they have Kendrick Bourne, our guy right there. I think they needed somebody else to step in there too to help lead the way for these young bucks to be a great guy, for these guys to learn from, because he's a dog. When he on, he top tier, in the league. So I don't know how y'all feel, about the signing.
I think that's huge for y'all, man. I think Stefon is a proven receiver. We've seen it time and time again. Obviously, now he's coming off an injury, so he wants to have a bounce-back season, to give a young quarterback, Drake May, a veteran receiver like Stefon Diggs, a playmaker, a go-getter in his second season. I think it's going to prove very, very beneficial for your offense, especially aside another vet in KB. You got KB coming back, who's poised to have a good year this year, so hopefully he stays healthy as well. But if y'all boys stay healthy, y'all going to be dangerous on the outside, on the perimeter for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna back that 100%. Warren, them boys stay healthy, they're gonna be an issue. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you got KB who can set up routes and win with finesse, and it's same thing with Diggs, right? Get him in a lot of situations. Josh, I'm sure, gonna be able to move him inside, outside, as long as he can get on the same page as Drake May. I think he's gonna be a very important piece to that offense, but that security blanket that we talk about, somebody on the 3rd and 6 that you could just get the ball to. His hands for sure. He's gonna be open. It's just a matter of health for that receiver room. So it's looking good for the Pats, man. They slowly putting it together. Bro.
Preseason to win the AFC East?
Nah, I ain't gonna say all that, but it should be much better than what it was last year. That's for sure. We've done what we need to do in the offseason. Now you got to take it into OTAs, training camp, and all that, because we've seen it time and time again. Teams win the offseason every year, but when the actual games roll around, don't always result in wins. But I know, Mike Vrabel's a good coach, Josh McDaniels a good coach, and all that. So they'll get it figured out and make sure those guys are, really chomping at the bit as soon as they walk in during OTAs. But I think this is a big thing, with getting Stefon. Obviously, you have a proven playmaker, and I just really think that's what this offense really needed. Because at times they'd be searching for somebody to make a play. Yeah. Most of the time, it just had to be Drake, really doing something special, with his legs and creating that way. And I know Kayshon Boutte had a pretty solid year. He makes some plays for us, but just really a lack of consistency, really from all positions. And like I said, when he's healthy, he's a consistent football player, and he brings some juice too. I feel like the offense really lacks some juice. We all know when he on fire, he's gonna be talking his stuff. He's gonna be doing all that, bringing some good energy about himself. So I think the offense, definitely needs that. So I think it's one heck of a signing. Hopefully his recovery's going well, and hopefully he can get out there as soon as possible, because they're gonna need him on that field. Like, I don't care.
I was gonna say, I think that that'll help, get Ramondre back on track too, right? Because when Ramondre's running and the boxing 8 deep, he was making huge plays right out of the backfield. So I think that's gonna open up a lot of things for you. And also getting Josh McDaniel back. James, you played under Josh McDaniels on the offensive side of the ball, just like how good of an offensive mastermind he is, bro. I just think that, him being able to be creative with your offense is gonna really help you out too.
Yeah, and I will say this too. like Stefon Diggs too. He dictate coverage, like especially once he get going.
That too.
That's really what we was missing. Like we ain't had nobody really.
That
They felt threatened by like, okay, like we got to shade the safety over here. Or we might have to double this guy. We didn't really have that last year. Now I said when Stefon get rolling, he gonna get the respect. I mean that's what people gonna do is like take away Stefon, see if anybody else can go out there and win. So everybody should have some favorable matchups. For Ramondre, Hunter Henry and company. So I think this works out well for the entire offense. Like I said, hopefully, Stefon can get back to himself extremely quickly because it's going to benefit this offense a ton. We also had some drama with some former NFL players on social media. Well, it started off with Deion. He's at the Big 12 Pro Day doing a little interview. He was describing how he got in and out of his breaks. We all know a big thing. For DBs is a T-step. That's a T-step. Deion did a different way. Freaky athletic, one of a kind type of athlete. He ran out of his breaks. Not everybody can do that. So he was saying he's never gonna coach a T-step. If he see, if somebody does a T-step, they ain't gonna be able to play for me. But that's his prerogative. And Sante Samuel has something to say about it. He's like, I did a T-step. This person did a T-step. Worked out well for me. Threw up all his stats and all that stuff. So obviously, it's going to be a difference in opinion. Top dogs in the game, like they all have a certain way of thinking, and they're going to stick to that. But it's cool to see that banner, back and forth every now and then. I know Soldier DB. So
I'm about to say, Breeze, let her know.
Yeah. So for me, I've been taught to do both, right? Running out, we call it bicycle breaking. And then also the T-step. I just think, at the position and so much of football, bro, is becoming, like having a toolbox, being able to do and interchange and do a whole bunch of things. So when you get in certain situations in the game, second nature will take over. Sometimes you might take a T-step. Sometimes you might bicycle break out of things. I just think it's a little OD for, Coach Prime to say if somebody can't do this, that they can't play for them. And it worked for Deion. Like you said, James. Ultra athletic, right? Super fast, could jump out the gym, all those type of things. Deion checked those boxes. Not every player is going to have that in them. One thing I loved about Coach Leonard when I was in college was he just gave us a whole bunch of different tools, and you went out there and you applied it to certain situations in the game. So I just feel like, man, I'm a T-step guy, but I can do, what Coach Prime was talking about. But I think it's a dope conversation because we're talking about. I know people want to downplay Zont's contribution to the game and how he affected. But if you pull the numbers up, I mean, Zont was hell, man, and a lot of people understand he picked that ball off and he was able to get it to the end zone. I think that is something that's a playmaking attribute that a lot of corners don't have. Right, a lot of guys can pick the ball off, but when you're able to go and score points and change the momentum of the game and all that stuff like that. So, I think just the people downplaying Zont, like, he doesn't deserve to be in the conversation with a lot of these corners. I think when you pull the numbers up and you look, man, it's, if we're gonna call things how it is as far as stats wise, we got to give everybody their flowers because there's some guys out there that was hooping for real.
Yeah, and he was undersized too to be doing that at like 5'9", 5'10", matching up against top receivers, being able to hold his own. You're not the fastest, but he gonna scrap, he gonna get his hands on you.
Physical.
The ball go up in the air, he gonna find a way to come down with it. So that's definitely a special talent too, because every DB want to get picks. Not all of them can actually make it happen. So I always know like when with Josh. When we play like actual like ball hawk DBs, we would try not to throw at him too much. Like Xavier Howard, whenever we play him, we know if we throw his direction, it was kind of in his way. He could find a way to make a play on it. Guys like Antonio Cromartie, we play him. He's in the Jets. He long corner. Like you throw it up there, he probably can make a play on the ball. So there's different types of corners that you have. You have guys that can shut down the field. And you have the other guys who maybe take a little bit more risk. Try and jump routes and do this and that. Everybody really has their own forte. It depends on the scheme that you play into, because obviously you have some teams that lean more in the zone. You have some teams that lean more in the man, doubles and all that stuff. So everybody's going to have their unique traits. And I like the back and forth. Like I said, everybody, especially the top tier dogs, Hall of Famers or great players in the league, all got a little bit of ego for sure. What I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody think they the best of the best. And obviously it's subjective.
I was gonna say, Breeze, you know, you got to give us your top 5 corners.
And I was gonna say this too. I mean, bro, people can say what they want, and I understand. Like, again, I caught Prime on the back end, so I didn't see, you know, obviously Cowboys Prime and San Fran Prime, but like to me, there's been so many other corners since then that I can put in that conversation, and it's just like you just really don't. I don't understand why we always say, you know, greatest of all time cornerback is Deion Sanders. I mean, what about Charles Woodson? What about, obviously, me, my GOAT at corner is Darrelle Revis, right? In the later years, you talking about Jalen Ramsey is going to have an argument in that conversation when he does get to that point. There's so many, Pat Surtain, right? Coming up now. Yeah. Defensive, player of the year and year, what is this, 3 or 4? 3 or 4. It might be year 4. So it's a lot of corners that are going to push that needle, and there's guys that are starting to come along. So it's just crazy to me how as soon as we say best corner of all time, it's always like Deion Sanders. And I think we just discredit so many other guys that came behind them that have also put up the stats, that have also shut top dogs down. We got to start integrating those guys into that conversation, because ball is totally different now from when Deion was playing versus what these boys dealing with now.
Yeah, I mean, since we on that subject, it's a question, you know, we posed to, you know, Perk for, you know, his podcast. He had Ricardo Hallman on there. You know, do you guys, what would you rather have? Or if you were DB, what would you rather be?
Led the Big Ten in interceptions, All-American. You know, obviously you were a pick machine. You were a turnover machine.
In their favor here, and another interception. A 3rd and 1 to the end zone. The receiver throwing over the middle, picked off. And that one is intercepted. Ricardo Hallman, and there he goes.
Last year, no one's throwing at you. Like, no one's throwing at you. A question is, like, what do you think is I don't want to say a sign of a better DB, but like, what is more indicative of like a playmaker? Is it someone who just doesn't get thrown at, or someone who gets like a ton of picks?
I just think that's a tough question.
It's an impossible question.
Yeah, I think because it's like a happy medium, because, you know, I think with me last year, I mean, in 2023, I was trying to, like, you know, get my name out there, improve myself. So a lot of teams was like, all right, hey, we're going to go at this kid. He got benched his sophomore year. I'm like, he has improved others. So it's just like when you get those opportunities that you start gaining that respect from opposing coaches, opposing quarterbacks, it makes it a little different. I think either way, wherever, if it's you're making plays, I think you're making a bunch of plays, you're making an interception, or you're not, because teams are not throwing at you as much, is a sign of respect anyway, either way. Because like as a DB, most people get caught up in stats, like, oh, this guy's the best quarterback. He had 12 interceptions this year, but this other guy had 0 picks, and he also gave up no touchdowns and getting 2 targets a game. So it's just like, I think either way can prove that you're a good defensive player, a good cornerback.
So what would y'all rather have on y'all team? A guy who's going to eliminate a side of the field, or you guys want to do who's going to get you, you know, 8 to 10 picks a year? What would y'all rather have?
It's tough. I'm gonna probably go somebody that can eliminate a side of the field. And bro, the dopest thing about it, like, you saw it up close in person, right? You got the chance to play with Reeve, and you got a chance to also play with Gilly. You're like, in the recent years, that's who my favorite corner been. Obviously, Darrelle Revis is my GOAT as far as you know, the cornerback position. But bro, Stephon Gilmore, when he got to New England and he won that defensive player of the year that year, was just a lock. So I think having a player that can shut down a side of the field or take away your best. In recent years, Bill, right, put you on your second best, and we'll figure out how to double team and shade, you know, your number 1 receiver. But I just think having that person that can really eliminate somebody out the game is just game wrecking and game changing. But I think both
dangerous.
Both fire.
Yeah. I think I'll take the person who can shut down, you know, a player on side of the field as well, because you can do a lot defensively. As you said, you can put him on a number 2 receiver, you know, double number 1 receiver, or vice versa, put him on number 1 receiver, double somebody else. However you want to do it, you can almost eliminate, you know, somebody from the game plan if you have this dude who can literally, you know, not get targeted pretty much the entire game. You saw Darrelle Revis do it a bunch. You saw, you know, Stephon Gilmore do it, you know, in New England. Then you have your other type of cornerbacks. You have like my dog, J.C. Jackson, a little bit different. Go take a little bit more risk. He's going to go out there and try and make a play, kind of like Asante Samuel, which those guys scare me too, because if I throw the ball in their direction, it ain't a great throw, and he can get their hands on it. It's gonna be a catch. It's gonna be an interception, I should say, and they can catch it.
Mm-hmm.
Some DBs have great hands, some don't. That's why some of them play DB because they can't catch it. Once upon a time,
it's different. I will say this though, it's different when you know knowing that I'm running this dig and the ball gonna come versus me trying to anticipate that you running a comeback and the ball coming trying to catch it. So it's a little bit different, bro. I know people be saying DBs can't catch, but it's a little bit different.
Some dudes they make the break on it. You know what I'm saying? Like they receive it.
I done been there, fam. But they say, ball beat him up. Ball beat him up. I done been there before, fam.
Yeah, it happens. It happens for sure because you ain't seen the ball come your way. In a few games, and you're like, oh, finally got me one. And you start running.
Overexcited. Lights get too big.
Yeah, it get a little tough, man. But shout out to them DBs. Hardest position to play, probably aside from quarterback, man. Especially in this day and age.
For sure.
You can't put your hands on the receivers. It's tough. At the 5 yards, you can't touch them. It's hard. It's a pass happy, league, especially in the NFL. So definitely shout out to the ones that are able to hold it down. And we'll talk a little bit of, we talked a little bit about Pro Day last week, and one of the potential number one overall draft picks, Cam Ward, had his Pro Day yesterday, I believe, and he had his group of receivers. He had Restrepo, he had Jacoby George, had his couple of his tight ends and everything. So they had their full crew there, did their little routine, put on a little bit of a show, and he even talked this stuff to I don't know what that was, the Titans GM or one of their scouts or something. Like, I'm solidifying it today. And what's funny to me? I like Cam Ward. I love it. I love like his his energy and all that stuff and how he his talk. But I think they try and say like Shador is kind of like what Cam Ward actually is. Like Shador actually he's pretty like kind of mild. Cam
he's level headed. He's pretty level headed.
He gonna stunt. He gonna stunt like we in the game and everything. But Cam he better tell you. He gonna tell you what he gonna do. He gonna go out there and try and do it. He gonna talk his junk. And they try and make it seem like Shador like kind of like that, but I know he kind of flashy with the chains and a little bit different.
It's different.
It's a little bit different, but you know what I mean. But they try and say like he's like arrogant and like this and then, but
it's
I don't think it's necessarily the way he carries himself. But I love it. Cam Ward a little bit different compared to most quarterbacks we see across the league. You see most dudes pretty buttoned up, like ain't really gonna talk nothing. He gonna talk to you. He gonna go out there and ball, but obviously you got to back that up if you're gonna be like that 24/7. But go ahead.
It's funny you say that, bro. But it's a narrative, bro. We know how reporters work and things like that. People want a story. People want clickbait, things like that. Like we've seen or we've heard Shador talk to the media. We've seen how he's carried himself throughout the season and whatnot. And it's a vast difference. I don't want to say a vast difference because it ain't like Cam is. That, you know what I'm saying? He's not arrogant. He's very confident, right?
Yeah.
But the way that they talk about themselves in their play, like it's confidence. And so, like, there's a difference. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like every week in, week out, like you talking crap about somebody else and, you pubbing yourself and whatnot. Like, if I'm talking about myself and I say, this is what I'm going to go do, this is how I'm going to perform and all that stuff. So I'm going to put up a good combine, good pro day, stuff like that. Like that's not, I don't think that's arrogance, bro. I think it's a good confidence. And that's something you want your quarterback to have, right? You want your quarterback to come in confident in his abilities because you get a quarterback that comes in unsure, two-stepping, you know what I'm saying? Not making the right reads and scared to mess up and all that stuff. Like you're not gonna get the production out of him that you want to. So the calling Shador arrogant and all that stuff, I think is a little much. I think it's also kind of playing off of maybe Dion, who Dion is and all that stuff, and the Sanders, legacy and what they've built. But I mean, I want my quarterback to come in with some confidence, right? Like obviously you don't want too much, but also enough to know you are a good player and you're going to get drafted where you are for a reason. You're going to get drafted for a reason. You're going to get your opportunity for a reason. You are a good player, right? And I want my quarterback to have that confidence coming in.
I won't say it's overboard. I just feel like, y'all boys, y'all know how this league thing, man, work. They want a certain image, especially if you're going to be the first pick or the first round pick for this team and you go in top 5. They want a certain image. I just think when you look at between Cam and Shador, I mean, Cam talks the talk, but Shador talks the talk too as well, and they both back it up. But here it is, combine for an example. Shador on with 6 chains on. Then they can't even watch the screen. Motherfucker blinded, you feel me? Or showing the watch. Like again, it's dope. And I think as far as like to be able to come in and give teammates confidence and be able to have that, how you said, James, aura around you, that aura around you, that you have the confidence in you and that you believe that you can go out there and do anything. I just think from a standpoint of a position that they try to want the guy to be clear and clean cut, I just think he challenged it a little bit with some of the stuff that he does off the field. Having the Rolls Royces before, I remember like Tom Brady said something to him like, you don't even be having no double R right now. Like just certain stuff like that everybody gonna nitpick over. But I think Cam, I don't think it's close, bro. Cam is, to me, he want to play with, like, he got it. Like, I think if you are Tennessee, I mean, it's gonna be a discussion, right? If you're gonna go DN with a dual Carter at one, or are you gonna go Cam? But the way he just been, his whole preparation and all that stuff like that, just it's dope for me to see him go back and give back to the community down there in Miami and Broward, throwing with the kids. Like, that's the type of stuff you want to see from the number one pick in the draft coming up. So it's gonna be interesting, though. It's gonna be real interesting.
Yeah, to me, I think they're pretty close. Him and Shador are pretty close. I do think that Cam will probably most likely be the number one pick based off what you're hearing and seeing from the media, where they kind of knocking Shador a little bit, but bumping Cam. So we'll see how that ends up resulting. But he's doing all the right things, man. He showed out at his pro day, like I say, he working out with the young quarterbacks, high school quarterbacks in South Florida, which was dope. Talking shit to them. They talking a little bit back. So I always think it was extremely dope. That's why I always give Chad Ochocinco a ton of credit too, because he always did a heck of him, like Antonio Brown. They worked out with the youth, high school kids, college kids, put them through their routines. And here go Cam Ward right here, going through some quarterback drills.
He getting that set up first.
Now, to be like, yeah, you go ahead.
Because this is what it's about. Like, if you can be able to see that right as a high school quarterback, you talking about potential number one pick in the draft, coming back and being touchable. Like, bro, it's one thing to watch it on TV or watch it on Instagram and social media, but to be able to see it in the flesh, like, this guy's life is about to change in a month or a couple weeks, whatever, how far the draft is from now. Just to be able to see it up close in person and him being able to be himself, talk shit, but also give back and give advice. But you can't get this, nowhere else. Like, just to be able to get that from himself. I just think, those kids got to be able to take that opportunity and soak it in, bro, because they are trying to get to where he want to be, they are trying to get to where he's about to, achieve and get one day.
No, it's definitely, like I said, like Antonio Brown, Ochocinco, all those dudes, especially from South Florida, they always worked out with, I said high school athletes, college athletes, really made themselves, touchable, is what Soj said. And you can see what the pros do. You may not be able to do it, right at that time, but you see what it takes. You know what I mean? And I always remember the story. Reggie Bush talked about how he worked out with LaDainian Thomas when he was in college. And like LaDainian broke him off. He like damn, like this what I got to do to make it to the league. Like, that's when LT was like top dog, like, in the league. So I'm saying you may get broke off, but you see what it takes to be one of the greatest. So I always think that's dope when guys that are up at such an upper echelon can bring themselves down to that level with these young athletes and teach them and show them the ropes. Because a lot of times you don't typically see it, like a potential number one overall pick working out with high school kids. You're not really seeing that. They doing a one-on-one training. And I also think it's dope how him and Shador work out too. They be talking. Yeah. So it's like, keep the competitive juices flowing. Because I think the offseason can get stale. A lot of just doing the same stuff over and over again. You make it a little competitive, I think it makes it a little bit more fun. And on the same topic of the NFL, I know one of y'all said this in the group chat. The Panthers, their ownership, their organization, they raising ticket prices once again. Which y'all like? another losing season, once again, but they raising them ticket prices.
I got the nerve to raise the
ticket prices. You want people in the stadium, don't you? Golly.
And look, people still gonna show up and all that. I mean, maybe a few less people, especially if they losing. I think that's not fair.
A few thousand less.
The owners, these organizations, they bring in a ton of money every single year. That no matter whether they win or whether they lose, they is in the green.
He's a bad owner, fam. He need to be on the clock of, you feel me? Obviously, I mean, I don't think you can force him to sell it, but he been bullshitting y'all boys.
Here's the thing. You think people stopped going toward the end of the season last year, bro? Now the fact that you raising prices and you still may not be that good, like
they were hooping towards the end of last year, though.
They was. I take that. You know what they was, but people probably knew they was gonna lose.
Yeah,
people probably knew they was done for.
I think that's why he probably got a confidence in him. Like, okay, Bryce kind of showed a little bit towards the back half. He really got something at the QB position. Now we just got to get some guys around him, which I'm sure they front office feel like they're going to do that. Every team, I think, has that feeling every offseason. But, I mean, damn, to raise the ticket prices up, Carolina ain't been good since.
Carolina ain't been Vietnam.
15, 20.
World War III.
Well, they were just good a couple years ago when it was in the Super Bowl.
like 2015, something like that.
But even before that,
10 years.
Damn,
that's crazy.
Hey, I'm watching that on CBS. Man, I don't know if Carolina play on CBS or Fox. Certain teams play on one of them. I'm watching that
PBS
on Fox.
Kids.
I'm watching that on Fox TV, bro.
WB11.
Oh man, and well, it is March. March Madness is under full swing. We had a bunch of games go on over, this past weekend and everything like that. Now we're down to the Sweet 16, and I know we've been seeing. I think Stephen A. Smith said it yesterday on First Take. I believe he said that NIL is, ruining the Cinderella stories. That y'all believe that because the lowest seed, is number 10 Arkansas, which they coached by John Calipari, which people probably expected them to be better than that this season anyway, because he typically brings in. I do think this NIL stuff has affected him too, for sure, because he. Kentucky, when he was at Kentucky, you bring in you get top dogs everywhere. Now, now everybody got that cheese. Now dudes want to go everywhere. And one thing that I noticed too, because Perk sent that little post in the group chat about like the different teams and all the teams that Can y'all name any of them? Name any of them teams?
Michigan State and Purdue.
Yeah.
And Duke.
and
Duke.
I can name Florida. Florida is the one with Iona, FAU, Belmont, Florida, and Watkins, because I know they point guard with the Iona, and then one of the dudes from FAU. That's what I noticed, that dudes transferring a lot. That FAU team that was down to the Final Fours a couple years ago, I seen a bunch of they dudes on different teams. I know they coach not there no more, but that junk is so crazy. The team was just in the Final Four like a couple years ago, and I know one dude played for Florida and one dude played for Arkansas with John Calipari. So it's crazy. Do y'all think you have to have a Cinderella in a Sweet 16 for it to be an even more exciting March Madness, or does it really not matter?
No, I don't think it matters, bro. I think having a Cinderella, that story, I think it does enhance it, and I guess give you something to really watch or see if a certain team gonna come out. But as far as the having to have it, no. The NIL stuff, obviously, the guys that would be on the Cinderella team, I'm sure getting bagged you going to a team that can afford your services. So that's what college football, basketball, some of the other sports, that is what is becoming now. And again, if you a team and you better figure it out and get with the times, because if not, you're gonna get left behind.
I don't think it affects. I mean, obviously it affects it because players are moving around to different places and things like that. But if you're a Cinderella team, you're gonna be a Cinderella team regardless. Because you got to think of think about teams in the past, right? You've had your loaded Duke teams, you've had your loaded North Carolina teams, you've had your loaded Florida teams, Auburn, whatever it may be, Villanova, things like that, and teams like that still get beat by lesser talent. So, I don't want to say lesser talent, excuse me, but smaller schools. And so same thing goes with this year. A lot of obviously, teams are still stacking up with all these players, but at the same time, if you're a Cinderella team and that ball is falling at some point throughout the game, you're gonna be a Cinderella team for sure.
I just think it's like, think about it, right? I don't know if Steph Curry at Davidson. I don't know how far they went when he was there, but I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, I believe.
I'm just trying to think of like high power. Like I remember John Morant. I didn't know who John Morant was until obviously he was hooping the whole year. But March Madness was just like, bro, who the hell is this? So I think when you have guys like that on certain teams, and now with NIL and all that stuff like that, they're not gonna be on smaller programs like that. Now all those teams are bagging them up and getting them on their roster now. So I just think it's really about to eliminate that whole like bottom seed team at least getting into the Sweet 16 or Elite 8 or Final Four. I just think that's going to be out the picture moving forward.
I mean, I think you'll still have them, every you'll at least someone getting close. I think you'll have them again at some point. It might just be one of them years where that just ain't it. Next year you might. You never know.
Hey, Perk, you pop that bracket back up on there. We're gonna pick who we like to win it all. I mean, I know I don't really know too much about all the college basketball this year, but the one team that I've seen the most is Florida, and I think I'm gonna stick with that pick with them winning it all. I know there's obviously Duke solid. I know Arkansas, they look like they starting to heat up a little bit. Obviously got Michigan State. I don't know who y'all like to win it all.
I'm gonna go Florida and Duke in the Nash, and whoever win it. I mean, I don't really too much care. I just want to see a good game. But I'm gonna go those two in the national championship. I'm gonna probably lean towards Duke because I want to see Cooper. I want to see Coop
flag
win a championship as a freshman, and then go on to be the first pick of the draft in the next couple months.
Who you like, Warren?
I can see it being either Florida. I can see it either being Florida or Duke. I actually think Michigan State has a good chance too. So I think Duke makes it for sure, but I think it's either between Florida and Michigan State on the other side. So I'll probably go Florida.
Hey, look now. Hey, we watched Arizona when we was, when we went to the Wisconsin game, but them boys.
Yeah, we did.
Caleb Love started to cook up. Nah,
he did.
They got Caleb Love. He started to cook up. Nah.
See, I ain't been. It's so crazy. I like whenever I see Arizona play, I just think of when we saw them. And I mean, it wasn't Caleb best performance. I want to say he fouled out. He might have had like 5 points. And I just remember everybody like, oh, they got a guard that's potentially a draft pick. So I know it's hard to get drafted in basketball. Mm-hmm. So I just remember us all watching him, and it just, I'm not saying that he did. It just was an off night for him. But if he hooping now, that's what's up, bro. Because
they play Duke now. They play Duke in the Sweet 16.
Oh, they play Duke in Sweet 16.
Didn't he go to? No, he went to North Carolina.
I'm about
to say that's crazy. We'll see though. Dang, I wonder if they play Thursday. I gotta watch that game, bro.
Yeah. I gotta be tapped into that one. I think that'll be a good little matchup along the same lines of basketball. We had Bronny James. He been balling the last couple nights.
Hey.
I know the Lakers played all their backups, just a couple nights ago. He got an opportunity to play pretty much a full game, had 17 points, was pretty efficient. He mixed up Giannis one time with a little Giannis pulled that arm, little savvy, he ain't finna highlight play on me. You know what I'm saying? So Bronny had him a solid day, and then pretty sure last night he had 37 points,
39 or something.
39 points, in the G League, and was efficient too. It was like 17 for 21. So I know everybody was kind of on him early on in the year. He wasn't going to hit 50 points, which I don't know how close he is to that now, but
he hit it.
Yeah, he hit it already.
Keep my name out your mother mouth, boy.
It seemed like he done switched it up a little bit. I feel like he was playing very passive, early on in the year. Maybe that Stephen A. Smith, that whole situation done put a little extra motivation into him, and now he's playing way more aggressive because he's an athletic kid, man. Like he's shifty. He can do he can pass. Obviously, he can shoot. He shoot better than his daddy. He's a little bit more natural shooter than Pop. So you don't think so? Pop's more. He's a little bit more natural with the form and everything.
I'm about to say early on, Pops ain't have a jump shot like that, but late.
He been cooking.
Pops been letting that go.
He been on fire. I give Bronny a ton of credit, man. Obviously, tough position to be in with how everything went down the draft, and and being LeBron's son. We all have seen, a lot of these second generation, kids. They don't tend to end up, really turning out to be. I mean, you got to be as good as your dad, but they don't turn out to be even really solid pro players for real. But yeah. I think he's trending in the right direction. Obviously, still has a long way to go, but I think it's great to see him, start trending in that right direction. And hey, maybe he gets some more tick when they make it to the playoffs and everything like that. So I think these games and him playing the G League and the NBA, they can definitely help, because we go from playing NBA game on Tuesday, then G League game on Thursday. I'm like, hey, I'll be hooping too. Y'all can't guard me. I just get guarded by Giannis the other night. What you about to do?
Really, Jeff Nix that boy, man. Like, when I seen that clip, that's one of them clips. Like Giannis, I'd have had to say something like, "Hey, I'm gonna play you for real now. I'm trying to get a little dominant, just fooling with him." But nah, Giannis, he makes Giannis up. So I just think moving forward for him, I think he needed the Stephen A. Smith thing to happen, bro. And some people that fire being lit under you, it can go one or two ways, right? Some people gonna tuck their tail and run into a corner and disappear. And it just looked like it lit a fire on the Bronny that now, you know what, man, just go out there and hoop, bro. Like all the preparation that you done did with your pops, I'm sure all the people, the training throughout the off season is next level to like it doesn't get no better than the training that he gets. Now you just go out there and hang out and hoop, man. You done shot 1 for 7 before. Yeah. Now it don't get no worse than that, right? It can't get no worse. Nah, just let it go.
Now we do have some new people that have, started viewing the pod. I know somebody just posted probably like 10 minutes ago, thoughts on, Diggs getting to the Pats. Man, I love the addition to the Pats. I know he's coming off ACL injury, but look, we needed another veteran in that receiver room. A lot of young talent. It'd be another great guy along with KB for these young guys to learn from. A really proven guy who's been the guy, for a long time. I know last year got traded to Houston. He wasn't necessarily the guy. They had Nico Collins and they had Tank Dell as well, but wasn't as ultra productive before he got hurt. I think this is a great situation for him because Josh is going to do a lot of great things with him. They're going to move him in different F, Z, X. Get him some isolation routes, line him up in the backfield, get him some mismatches that way. So I think it's going to be great for him. He's going to be great for this offense. He brings juice. He brings a spark. Obviously, he has to be healthy, and which that's a process. I don't know when exactly he'll be back, whether it's camp or OTAs. I don't know, but when he does come back out there, I said I know him, so he's a motivated dude. He love ball. He gonna compete. So, and I think that's what this offense needs. He's a dude who's gonna be competing 24/7. Like I'm going at people, and I'm sure that's gonna be his motivation. Through and he get to play against his former team twice a year now. So that'll be good, man. I love the addition. I think we needed it, and I'm sure. Hey, we probably still gonna draft a receiver too at some point during the draft. I don't know when, but I think that probably quiets down a little bit of the Ted McMillan talk and stuff like that to me, which I thought that would have been a little bit of a reach at pick 4, in my opinion. I think he's a talented player, but at pick 4, I think that's a little rich for me. Obviously, big body receiver, can high point the ball and all that stuff, but I'm not sold at taking him at number 4 overall. Do you think he'd be a solid, very solid or good? You disagree?
No, it's not that I disagree. It's just like in the past year, obviously Jamar Chase, Jefferson, those are guys you would take in the top 5. I just think, what does a receiver have to show you to be taken that high? Because I feel like you check off, like I know Steve Smith said what he said a couple of days ago, and it's just like, in my opinion, what is this game missing? I mean, I don't really know,
I don't think the route's like crazy to me. Like, and I don't think he really plays to his size like all the time. Like I don't know how big he is compared to like a Calvin Johnson. He ain't there like that size, and like I feel like dudes that line up across from him don't feel that type of presence. If you 6'5", play 6'5". Don't be trying to finesse me like you could obviously you got to have some of that too. But I think you should play a little bit more physical because all the dudes that's gonna be guarding you is smaller than you. So I think he just has to play to that a little bit more. Which look, he could do that in the league. I don't know. Like I said, he could walk into this league and take it by storm, like immediately. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I just think at pick 4, I just think that's you got to be like generation. You know what I'm saying? Which not saying. I mean, look, he could shut me the hell up. He may come in his mug and light it up, but to me, it's a little early for him. Which
you think y'all draft a receiver? You think so?
I still think so because
late.
Probably a little bit later. I mean, we got a lot of young talent.
Y'all got a lot of. That's the crazy. That's what. Just sitting there thinking about it, because right, the guy from UCF, what Bake is that's his name?
Baker, yeah, Javon Baker.
Baker, like I'm sure a lot of Patriot fans I've been seeing, like they waiting for him to come along. Hopefully, you got the year 1 jitters out of you. What's the other guy y'all drafted from Washington?
Jalen Pope.
Him. So I just think as far as young talent wise, or I don't want to say it, but some people gonna have to start getting, move the.
Yeah, I mean, and we got Pop Douglas too. Pop Douglas is a solid receiver too. But you know what I mean, got new OC coming in. Like I ain't really handpicked like these dudes. So it's like, hey, maybe I want.
How that go?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I ain't really a fan of these dudes for real. Like I need somebody else, and that's a real thing. So. I don't know necessarily how Josh feels about the guys that he currently has in the room. Obviously, I know he knows KB. Happy to have him there. Bring good energy, bring good juice. Obviously, they're happy to bring Stefon Diggs in. But as far as the younger guys, like it's a clean slate for him, which is good. You got a new OC, but like if you're not like say them first couple of, you get like a week or 2 OTAs before that draft comes. Them first couple weeks come out there. We sit in the meetings and they feel like you ain't picking up that offense, you ain't working hard. Yeah, we need you. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all said Josh offense hard. I ain't gonna say hard to pick up, but it ain't just you ain't finna.
You ain't just finna walk in and like, I got it. Nah, they're gonna take it, especially at receiver, because he gonna obviously some guys get pigeonholed into one position. Some guys be asked to do multiple things. The more you can prove it, you can learn, the more stuff you will do. But it's difficult because it's a lot of different personnel, it's a lot of different formations, shifts, motions, and like they want to snap the ball quick. So, like I said, these guys can pick it up and it could be good. But I think this offense, and I'm sure he's probably changed some because I heard he's gone to different organizations, colleges, NFL teams, in his year off from coaching to learn a little bit more, to add to his offense. So I'm sure the offense will be even a little bit different than the offense I was a part of. So I'm kind of excited to see, what that turns out to be. But, speaking, we talked a little bit earlier about some football beefs, some former football player beefs. We also got some former NBA players who've been talking their stuff too. And Brandon Jennings, he'll give this podcast. I think he went on somebody else's podcast where they asked him about his draft class, which I think he was in there with Drew Holiday, Ty Lawson, like Marcus Thornton, guys like that. And he pretty much was saying like, okay, none of them dudes like F with me. And like a whole bunch of them like what's going on the IG lives or they Instagrams and like kind of responded to and he challenged Lou Will to
Lemon Pepper Lou.
So, I don't know who y'all like in that matchup. I mean, obviously Lou Will a bucket give Brandon Jennings. He'll forget Brandon Jennings.
Brandon was a bucket.
He was a bucket, bro. Automatic.
So,
but he tore his Achilles. What was his?
I don't know what his injury was. What was his? It might have really just been off the court.
Politics.
Politic type stuff. I don't know who y'all like in that matchup. Lou, because Lou Will accepted it too. Like let's line it up. Anytime, any place, like that's tough though.
I know they playing for a little wage too, man. Them boys there, for sure. I'm gonna probably go. Lou was hell too. I'm gonna probably go Lou, bro, just because of recent years. I know B Jam been. I'm sure he's probably hooped around, but I'm gonna just go recently, man. I ain't seen Brandon in a while, man. So I ain't seen Brandon in a while. Give me Lou.
I think I may go Brandon Jennings on this. I mean,
Brandon had a thing on the string though for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So, he had it. I mean, like I said, we ain't seen him play in a little bit, but I mean, if you barking like this, I mean, you got to be. You better have been in the gym already, getting them shots. So I think if he talking, I feel like you better be confident. So I'm a roll with Brandon Jennings.
Brandon Jennings was a bucket, boy.
I was, bro.
And you talking one-on-one game. You talking like ISO ball.
That's why, yeah.
Like I
both of them do, yeah.
I hate going against
defense.
I hate going against Lou Will, bro. But I just think Brandon Jennings is a ISO player, bro. Like Lou Will can score you whatever off the bucket. He can be a 6-man. He can come out start for you on the floor, things like that. But seeing somebody playing ISO game, bro, when Brandon Jennings was with the Bucks, bro, taking boys off the dribble, like he's an ISO player. Like he runs your offense. He's an ISO player. He's gonna go get you a bucket. I might have to go Brandon. I hate doing it because I love Lou Will, bro. I love Lou Williams.
Brandon also 150 pounds too, fam.
Lou Will is too, though. They both
Lou Will ain't big either, though, like that.
Yeah, I just know, bro. You know, bro, when you get on the back end of stuff and it's late, you know, man, them boys probably out drinking, smoking reefer. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know who gonna really be in shape. I wouldn't put no money on neither one of them because again, I don't know who been in the gym, who been working out. I don't know nothing. You get out there and man, be tired. One of working out again, bro.
But
y'all boys got it.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of other retired vets, we have some other ones that actually got they got this thing set up. Lance Stevenson, Michael Beasley, they've accepted the one-on-one. They playing for $100K. It's like they got a whole thing, little flyer and everything. Main event, $100K one-on-one. I don't know who y'all like. I mean, I know who I like in this one. I like Michael Beasley.
I go Michael Beasley all day.
He's on IG every day. One-on-one hooping.
It's so crazy because he used to work out where we worked out at down here at System 8, bro, and everybody always talked about how freaking good he was. Like, I just don't know if it was, the trees he couldn't put down or however the NBA blackballed him, but everybody I know just talk about how freaking good Beasley was, dog. Even stories with him beating Bron and stuff like it just hear so much stuff. So I'm gonna go Beasley for sure. 100 bands, that's easy money for him, bro. Too. Yeah, it's easy bread.
And he got the size, no homo over Lance. I mean, Lance a little bucket getter too. It's just either he own or a little crazy.
Boy, you funny, bro. You funny, dog. You funny, bro. Boy, you funny as hell, bro. You funny as hell, bro. You funny as hell, bro.
I kept my mouth closed.
I said,
yeah. Oh, man, that man funny, dog. That's so funny, bro.
Either way I said it was gonna sound crazy. So, but
hey, this is every night on Xbox, bro.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
that's why I kept my mouth closed, bro. But just know, I could have said something.
I said no, you know, I ain't gonna say it. You know what I mean? But
funny, bro.
But last but not least, man, before we wrap it up, man, gotta talk about these Georgia Bulldogs and what they got going on down there. Had 2 more players on their team with reckless driving, getting in trouble and all that stuff, either injuring themselves or potentially injuring other people. I mean, like I said, I don't know what's going on down there. I'm sure dudes got souped up chargers, like all that stuff. Getting NIL money, which they'll probably get money before NIL and everything. But man, I think it just doesn't make sense to be like how it consistently happens with them. Like I said, I don't know. I'm not blaming Kirby Smart for it. This on the kids. Like I can't blame no coach for some decision that these dudes making in a car. Like obviously he can say and preach as much as he wants. At the end of the day, when those kids leave the building, they're gonna make their own choice. But I think it's just a sign for, I mean, not even just football players, but all young people, man. We gotta be smart when you're behind the wheel. Obviously, when you're 18, 19 years old, like the thing is, we all have sped at some point in our lives. And, you get behind the wheel for the first time, or you get a little souped up chart or whatever. You want to pedal to the metal, but just gotta be smarter, man. Like gotta make some better decisions, especially when you're in these positions. Like you're making money, you're playing college football, you're under a microscope, man, and every little thing that you do wrong is going to be magnified. Especially when you at Georgia now. Anybody who get behind the wheel,
for sure.
It's pretty crazy. But yeah, for the young people out there, young athletes, whatever, let's be smart behind the wheel, protect yourselves, protect the other people on the road. It ain't worth it, man, to be going over 100 miles per hour in a 40 mile per hour zone. Like you either gonna hurt or kill yourself, or you're gonna hurt or kill somebody else. It's not it's not worth the risk. Like I said, you can have a car, you can have all that stuff. I'm cool with that, man. But let's be smart. Like I'm honestly, I got no affiliation with Georgia, but like it's kind of crazy that this keeps happening. I don't know how y'all feel about it.
And it's evident. It's sorry to cut you off more. It's evident that Athens Police Department or Georgia, whoever, is it Athens or if it's the school campus, like they pulling you over, fam. So you're not getting no passes, right? You got certain schools where maybe you might know the people in the police department. In Georgia or Athens, they ain't giving you no passes. So I don't even know why you would risk it. But I think what you said perfectly, bro, was you either gonna hurt yourself or you're gonna hurt somebody else. And somebody else that didn't deserve that, right? Like that's just my thing. I don't think it's fair to put other people in danger and risk just off of bad decisions that you're making. And I always say it all the time, right? It don't catch up to you until it catch up to you, or it don't happen to you until you in that situation and it's happening to you, and you either hurt yourself or you can't play ball again, or God forbid is worse, and then you can also do it to somebody else. So I just think, man, we just gotta make smarter decisions, bro, as players, and being 100 with you, bro, it's our culture, is our race, and it's nothing as far as race or anything, but it's us young men that keep making those bad decisions, and we just gotta finally wake up and realize that, bro, not only are we putting ourselves in danger, but we're putting other people in harm's way that don't even deserve to be in harm's way off our decisions. So tighten up, fellas, man. We just got to tighten up. That's the conversation.
And I think in addition to that, like, that's the most important piece. Like, obviously people's lives and things like that being in danger, but also like you got to think of who's watching you. Like James talks about, everybody athletes being in a fishbowl, right? Like you got young kids that are watching what y'all doing with all this money and all that stuff. And with the way generations are now, they're going to want to do the exact same thing you're doing because you got all this money and you're making it look cool. And so next thing you know, these next generation of kids are going, hopefully not, but do the same thing, things like that. And they're going to want the fast cars because y'all make it look good. You guys are athletes that are getting to a place where they want to be, right? And so we have to monitor the things that we do and think about our actions before we do it, because we have way more people watching us, especially from a younger generational standpoint than anybody else, right? Because kids have so much access to social media and TV and things these days, and they can see that. They see all of it, right? And it doesn't, seeing you get a ticket don't deter them from doing it. Makes them want to do it because they think it's cool. Yeah. So you got watching the way we talk, watching the way we do things. Like kids are mocking that in everything these days, and it's getting out of hand. So,
man, my little cousin, y'all boys, the other week, but he kids fried, bro, and he don't even know it. He's like, man, he was like, I'll blow it, and I'm like, bro,
bro, you don't know what you're saying, dude.
You don't even know what you're talking about, bro. Like, man, cause bro, it's the music, fam. It's the music and social media, bro. We gotta do something about it, bro. I seen a tweet, bro. They should shut social media down for like a week, bro. But I think it'll be bad effects, bro, because people will lose their damn mind.
Bro, I'll be on the way. Bro, I'll be on the way to work, bro, in the morning.
We need to figure it out.
I'll be on the way to work in the morning, bro. Seeing kids getting on the bus, shiesties on and junk like this. I'm like,
it's cold up there where y'all at, though.
Bro, it's not that cold, bro. It's the spring, bro. It's 50 degrees outside.
Okay, now, fam, but a couple months ago, bro?
Nah, bro, not for no shiesty, bro. Come on now. Where you put yourself on a little scud cap or something like that. Yeah, you don't need no shiesty, bro. We know why people wearing shiesties now, bro.
Man, it'd be 100 degrees down here.
100 degrees, bro.
These kids got a hoodie and a shiesty on, like.
I sent y'all that. Y'all saw that that clip I sent y'all the other day. Like, even we talk about sports. Like the kid caught the pick. This is a teenager, bro.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Kid caught the pick and was doing some weird.
Bro, all so different than when we was growing up, fam. It's crazy, dog. And it's only gonna get. I always sit and I think like it's only gonna. I ain't gonna say worse, but it's only going to trend in the direction that is even more. So I don't know, bro.
To me, that like that thing that you sent Warren, like to me, that's on the coaches because you allowing that.
You allow that, yeah,
true.
true.
Allowing that.
I'm straightening that out before we even get out of the field.
Facts.
You do that,
see it
off the field, you off my team, something like I need some type of accountability there. We not having that, man. It's 707, dude. Like
kids,
let's relax. This ain't even.
Guns,
like, I get it. 707 is the thing and everything, but that's not like there's some benefits to it, but it's not real football, as you know what people would say. So y'all need to be doing all these extra celebrations and all that.
None of it.
You can't talk to players though no more. Right? Like, bro, I know y'all too, myself, like, bro, growing up and playing little league ball and even in high school, like, you did some stupid like that, your coach would cuss you out. And, oh, by the way, like, at Plant, we was doing it. Everybody was doing log rolls, bro, 100 yards, and then crab walking backwards. Like, it's just little stuff like that they did back then that I think nipped that type of behavior in the bud. Now, bro, you can't tell these kids nothing. These kids will cuss you out, the coach out, cuss everybody out. So I don't know, bro. We gotta figure it out though, man.
And then hit the transfer portal in Little League to go play for another.
I want to go play for and make an announcement too.
Make an announcement.
Y'all boys, y'all don't
even talents.
Man, y'all boys, it's a different world down here, dog. Man, but we got 6-year-olds announcing on Instagram they transferring to this part,
whole graphic and everything,
a graphic with stars and everything, like 4-star DB. Like, little nothing.
Yeah, it's crazy. They rank like Little League player like 2035, number 2 running back in the cup. Like, what? Like,
what?
Right. All right, bro.
And I ain't gonna lie, that's only in Florida, dog.
I mean, it's everywhere for real. Like they be traveling for Little League. Do we drive Florida versus Cali, Little League? Like,
yeah, that's fair.
Like, it's crazy. Like they have like full. I mean, we had like little tournaments that I played like a little tournament like Lake Worth, Florida, or something where we played like a team from out of state. But now that thing be televised, it be all type of stuff. And I blame these like recruiting services and all that. Don't be ranking no 5th grader, no 4th grader. He the number 1 or number 2 corner, and they pull that up. We got kids mic'd up. It's
I got Mike. I'm making my back, bro. Yeah. Feel it.
Bro, that's wild, bro.
Hooping though.
Yeah.
I will say that.
I like to know you. I'm a straight rider.
Bro, that's hilarious, bro.
Hey, why is he
bro, you hit a little thing, bro. You know, like the mic is like it's muffled. Bro, it's funny, bro.
Bro, I can't wait till my son start playing football, dog. I can't wait, bro.
Get out my way.
Hey, you about to cuss right here or something.
Right.
Look.
Look at the scoreboard. Look at the scoreboard, buddy. Watch me when you win.
Man, it start that young. I'm telling you, man. That's what the coaches allow, man. I'm telling you. I'm straightening. Oh, wow. Like, I get it. I mean, you don't even be talking junk at that age, but like 8 years old, like come on, man.
Nah, that ain't 8, fam. That might be. I don't know.
You gotta be like 8. I don't think you play tackle to you at
5.
least.
Yeah, it's 5. We start at 5.
That's crazy. Yeah,
it might be 8 though. You're right. It say 6-year-old. 6.
That's insane. You shouldn't be able to play no tackle football at 6.
I mean, I played tackle football.
I played like flag football. Like
y'all played flag at 6?
Not at 6. I feel like I played like.
Fam, I played it at 5.
Bro, I played tackle football at 6 years old. Bro, Titans was tackle football, bro. I promise you.
Pee-wee football, fam. It started at 5 years old.
You was not playing Pee-wee at 5 years old. No.
It's called, well, for us, it was called Tykes, bro, and it was all tackle football. We didn't have flag football, bro. We didn't have flag football like that.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm finna find Pee-wee. I promise you, bro. Pee-wee football. 5 years old.
I promise you, dog. I promise you, bro. 6 years old, bro. I've been playing ball since I was 6, and it's always been tackle football. Always.
I don't know about all that, man.
I ain't never played flag football, bro. That's why That's new to me.
Maybe gotta be 7, cause Zay about to be 6 years old, about to go in kindergarten. So I guess,
bro, you gonna laugh. I got one for you, bro.
I guess it's probably about either 6 or 7, I guess, but I don't know. That's still crazy,
bro. Let me show you, bro. Hold on, let me go back into the files, bro.
What you about to pull up?
I'm about to show you. Give me 2 seconds. Viewers, stick with me for a second.
You letting James? You letting Zay play flag
he actually started flag football the other day on Sunday or something like that.
My dog playing. We got the running back, we had receiver, we had corner, we had quarterback. What we doing?
They just doing skill drills to figure out who could do what right now. I ain't get to go to it, but
hey, whatever you do. Hey, Perk, I'm about to text it to you, Perk. I'm gonna email it to you. Put it on there. Don't laugh, bro.
We gotta laugh now.
Perk, I'm gonna text it to you, bro.
Look how he laughing.
There we go, laugh.
Bro, I'm telling you, I was 8. This was my second year playing ball. This was my third year playing ball. My brother Ryan was 7. My brother Chris was 6. This was his first year playing football, bro. We've been playing since we were 6 years old, bro. Perk, bro, put that thing up, bro. No dick.
Y'all boys kill me, bro.
Bro,
kill me, dog.
Don't laugh,
this
bro.
About to be OD.
Bro, don't laugh.
I won the Super Bowl my Pee Wee year.
Bro, you know what's so crazy? I won the Super Bowl my Pee Wee year too. After that, could never win anything, bro.
For real, man. One and done.
One and done, bro. Pee Wee football, man.
Damn. One and done.
Yeah,
everybody had them little arm pads.
Them arm pads. Hey, no, them arm pads was homemade, dog. Arm pads was homemade, dog.
That sound like your pops, yes.
Hey.
Homemade,
dog. That boy was a killer, boy.
Damn, Perk, we gotta email it to you. I got one for you, Perk, too.
James, I know you got one, dog.
James, you gotta have one, bro.
Probably not on this phone, but let me see.
Dang, dog. I'm telling you, I've been playing since I was 6, bro. That was year 3, dude.
I probably ain't got it on this phone.
Yeah, bro. We ain't know nothing about we ain't know nothing about no flag football. Brooklyn.
I had to bring it up.
Look, y'all boys.
Hey,
had them speed TDs on.
Hey, that's when Nike ID came out. Nike ID, I had name.
I had the socks rolled down and everything.
I ain't gonna lie, I hated y'all part plantation, boy. I couldn't stand y'all.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
I used to be cheating, man.
We had gangsters now.
I used to be cheating, boy. I used to play Ronnie every year. That boy Ronnie used to have about 7 thigh pads in. Boy, can he tackle that boy? Can he tackle that boy? Him and the dude Randy Graham. Them boys.
All I'm saying is
7 thigh pads.
I know we got some viewers on here that got some little league football photos. Hey, throw y'all's in the comments. Hey, when we post this to IG and Twitter, throw y'all pics in or something. Tag us in the story or whatever. Just throw them in the comments.
I had to find my.
You can't throw pictures in the comments, can you? I'm dumb.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, shoot, it's technology.
Yeah.
But shoot, but before we wrap though, man, gotta give a shout out to my guy Sony Michelle. Him and his business GVO Cycle. They grand opening just the other day. So if you're in the Fort Lauderdale area, make sure y'all go to GVO Cycling, man. Check them out, man. Dope facility. Check them out on Instagram. Brand new. They got cold tubs, all type of junk. It's obviously a cycling center. Yeah. Recovery. You want to get that work in, and shout out to my guy. I know it's been a work in progress for the last few years. It's cool to see because I talked to him when he was first just talking about it. I know Soj, you helped him out when he did a little pop up. At the W Hotel on Fort Lauderdale Beach and everything. So, shout out to him. Hopefully that thing thrives. But we had him on here not this past Super Bowl, but the last Super Bowl we had him on. So, got to get him back on here to talk about GVO Cycle. So, shout out to him, man. But that's a wrap for this Money Down podcast on the Believe Network, presented by BetOnline.ag. Appreciate you guys tapping in, tuning in with us. We'll keep the live episodes coming. We always appreciate the love and keep on coming back.
Yes, sir.